Jonny Cowlin has been the executive sponsor of the CX program in Experian EMEA and a strong advocate for getting that program to the next level. Here's what he had to say to me about the business value of Spectrum AI.
The big challenge for me was that we were getting information from our customers on a single annual shot. And the challenge with that is that as soon as you get that data, it becomes kind of out of date very, very quickly. And what was missing was that we didn't have a really clear view of our customer journey, or our customer journeys, as it turned out. And importantly, along those customer journeys, there are various intersection points where you might get different resources, different teams, different groups from within the company coming together, passing data on or passing a process on. And we didn't have clarity, we didn't have good data or insight on the intersection points of those customer journeys. I didn't feel we had a good view of CX across the customer journey for specific accounts. So being able to look at one account in totality and see what was going on. It was very siloed, very disjointed. And that doesn't help account teams, it doesn't help client leaders when they're trying to deliver a good end-to-end service to their customer and be aware, be on top of the game, be proactive about what service we're delivering. And we were bringing lots of great talent in. We were on the right path, on the right trajectory, but it was functionally led. And so what you had was sales coming to the table, or delivery coming to the table, or product coming to the table and showing everyone what they were doing in their little shop and how great that was. But it wasn't about the customer, it wasn't joined up, it wasn't aligned. If we don't understand the customer journeys, if we don't understand what our customers want, what they need, what they're going to need in the short future, it's going to be very difficult for us to be successful. If we decide to build out our new cloud infrastructure in a closed dark room without talking to our customers, without being very, very intimate with them, then that's going to lead to problems, because we'll build the wrong customer journeys, or we'll miss customer journeys, or we'll miss a trick. So yeah, now more than ever, as we go through this transformation, we need to be absolutely on it from a CX perspective. I think if you're not getting instant or as near to real-time data as you can about lots of different things, I think it's very difficult to have good insight into your customers. So we want to be able to predict what's going to happen for our customers. There's enough data on our customers coming into our business for us to process that, crunch that, turn it into MI that we can use. It's just a big missed trick. Not only is it a missed trick, not only is it potentially missed opportunity, missed revenue, but it could be having a major impact on service, on trust, on are you managing the fact that you may have some passes moving to detractors? You don't know, right? So it could be a big problem that you don't spot. If you can use, again, going back to the real-time data piece, if you can use real-time data to spot exactly what's going on at any point in your business, and you can act on that, then it helps you, by definition, be more productive. Having better insight into what's going on across the customer life cycle for particular accounts, particular territories, particular regions, that is incredibly rich, incredibly valuable to the company. And I don't think people in the company understood that when we started out. They didn't understand how powerful that could be. And that leads to alignment. So I've seen us stray from being aligned as a business to thinking we've got the answer, thinking we're going down the right path. Could be innovation, could be product build, could be service improvement, operational improvement, whatever you want to use as an example. And we've been very sort of preoccupied with that we know the answer, but because we haven't had that alignment, we haven't been using that data, we've gone down the wrong path, and we may even be going further away from what the customer wants. as opposed to improving things for the customers. So I think, you know, not having that data, but then not being able to harness it and use it to drive alignment, particularly in the exec team, I think that's one of the biggest learnings for me, that things become very disjointed very quickly. You know, it does kind of force you to go back to basics. So, you know, the act of looking at your customer from a different lens and looking at what's going on in their account or the way we're running them. We thought that we were doing a good job by talking to them once a year and then talking to them every time we deliver something, which might be two, 3, 4 times a year. That's not the way to run a good CX program. We wanted perfection when we started talking. We thought we could have kind of 10 different sets of data that would be very, very useful, very interesting. And, you know, I think we ended up being able to get 3 or 4 pretty easily. And turns out that having information from those 3 or 4 data sets is actually incredibly useful, as we've proven working together. You know, as accurate, if not better, than the annual NPS surveys. But yeah, being able to access, to your point, what you can get your hands on very quickly and kind of iteratively start working through that. I was really pleasantly surprised about the results we were getting from working through those data sets with you. I think understanding and alignment would be my first piece of advice. You know, making sure that the leadership team knows exactly what you're doing, why you're doing it, making sure that you've got stakeholders that are bought into helping you drive this. Because if you're anything like Experian, and we're quite a complex business, then having people that are, you know, doing different roles across the functions that can come together and help you. So that would be my first one, just making sure that there was clarity of alignment. Don't try and boil the ocean. You know, get what you can get, obtain the data you can use, start small, start proving it. You know, there are lots and lots and lots of use cases that you could drive, that you could use real-time data for. And I think if you try and, you know, do too much, you're going to slow yourself down. And the third thing would be, you know, make sure that you are actually going to drive improvement in the business. So, you know, what is it you're actually doing? Is that well understood? Is it well thought through? Is it going to be impactful for your clients and your business? So I think, you know, I go back to the beauty of this is that it's not old school CX. It's not about, you know, can we make the customers smile in the NPS annual survey? Can we get the score going up 2 points? I think CX, maybe even in some organizations, used to be off on the side, and now CX is kind of central to everything we're doing. It's central to productivity, to growth, to customer experience. It's the kind of golden thread that goes through the whole business. And I think, and I would say this because we're Experian and we provide data to help customers make better decisions. That's our raison d'etre, but it's so true. So the more analysis, the more data we can get, the better. And I completely agree with what you said.